Birds come in all shapes and sizes, but some are truly massive.
And there's this tonight. Giant California condors are considered a critically endangered bird species.
From tropical forests to wide-open grasslands, the skies are ruled by giants with feathers. Today, we're counting down the 15 largest birds on Earth. These aren't your everyday pigeons or parrots. We're talking about towering creatures that can outrun, outswim, and even scare off predators. Number 15, the Casawary. This happens to be one of the most dangerous and angriest birds on the planet, the Casawary.
A bird called a cassowary, just like the one behind me. It's known as the most dangerous bird in the world.
Cassawaries stand as the third tallest and second heaviest bird on Earth, with females reaching 6.5 feet tall, weigh 130 pounds, and are larger and more colorful than males. Often found in New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, West Papua, and northeastern Australia, these birds own sets of deadly weaponry that should be greatly feared. Their inner claw can reach nearly 5 inches long and is capable of inflicting fatal wounds.
The main thing you worry about is their feet, their most deadly weapon.
So this isn't just a big bird. It's a feathered assassin that can run 31 miles per hour and swim with surprising grace. That distinctive bony helmet atop their heads, called a casque, allows them to crash through dense forest undergrowth. But what makes cassowaries truly irreplaceable is that they can consume poisonous fruits that would send other animals to their early grave. During mating season from May to June, just like emus do, females lay vibrant green eggs, then abandon all parenting duties to the males.
The female walks away, and the male takes over. He incubates the eggs for about 50 days.
Dad handles nest construction, egg incubation, and chick rearing, while mom potentially flirts with other males. These aren't zoo animals. They're wild, powerful, and completely capable of defending themselves against any perceived threat, including humans who come too close to their territory. But do not be fooled by their beauty. These birds are strong, fast, and not to be messed with. 14. Ostrich. Have you ever seen a bird so big it can't fly, but can outrun most animals on land? Meet the ostrich, the largest bird living on Earth today. Ostriches are truly massive. They hold the record as the heaviest birds alive and lay the biggest eggs in the world. Eggs so large they make chicken eggs look like toys. But what really sets them apart is their speed. With their powerful long legs, ostriches can sprint at nearly 44 miles per hour. That's faster than most racehorses. This incredible speed has made them the fastest runners in the bird world. But they aren't just built for running. Ostriches have become stars in fashion and farming. Their skin is highly prized for luxury leather, and their feathers are used in decorative outfits worn by royalty and celebrities. You'll even find ostrich farms thriving in places like Namibia and the Philippines.
Over the past 7 years, these rare birds have become the economic powerhouse of Plum.
Ostriches belong to a group of flightless birds called ratites. This group also includes emus, cassowaries, rheas, and kiwis. Today, there are 2 kinds of ostriches, the common ostrich and the Somali ostrich. Long ago, though, they roamed far and wide, from Africa to Arabia and even parts of Asia. Believe it or not, scientists have traced their history back over 21 million years. Fossils show they first appeared in Africa, then spread across Europe and Asia. These ancient birds were so impressive that even the Romans admired them. Nowadays, wild ostriches are only found in Africa, living in open grasslands and dry desert areas. Somali ostriches evolved separately from the common ostrich and still live in their own region. Sadly, some types, like the Arabian ostrich, were hunted to extinction in the last century. There were even attempts to bring them back in places like Israel, but those efforts failed. Still, ostriches managed to find a new home in Australia, where a few escaped from farms and now live wild. From record-breaking speed to ancient roots, the ostrich is more than just a big bird, it is a living legend. 13. King penguin. Forget everything you know about the cute waddling penguins in Happy Feet. The king penguins are insane deep-sea divers that make Olympic swimmers look like beginners. These large, 3-foot-tall birds can plunge nearly 1,000 feet beneath the ocean surface.
Can then dive to 300 meters, 1,000 feet is pretty spectacular.
Hunting lanternfish and squid in the crushing depths of the South Atlantic and the South Indian Ocean. These flightless birds are similar to the emperor penguin in terms of elegance and beauty. They walk with a swaying gait that makes them more majestic and charming than ever. For their breeding cycle duration, it can take 14 to 16 months, longer than any other penguin species in existence. Unlike other penguins, they lack a nesting burrow. So parents take turns balancing a single precious egg on their feet, covered by a warm pouch of skin on their abdomen, while their partner embarks on fishing expeditions lasting weeks across thousands of miles of open ocean.
Some of these adults might not have set foot on land for 5 months to see their chicks. And with a belly full of fish, that's no easy task.
Now, what's more surprising is that around 70% of king penguins are serial monogamists, switching partners every breeding season while remaining completely faithful during their time together. They perform elaborate trumpeting duets that can be heard for miles across sub-Antarctic islands.
They mirror each other's actions to confirm that they're now a couple.
Despite reaching sexual maturity at 3 years old, many king penguins wait until they're 6 before attempting to breed. Their striking golden-orange ear patches and gorgeous chest markings are more or less for attracting a mating partner. 12. Suse Crane. The Suse Crane stands an absolutely staggering 6 feet tall, making it the tallest flying bird on Earth. This means they are just as tall as most basketball athletes. This magnificent giant bird can always be recognized by its striking crimson neck and elegant gray body, creating one of nature's most breathtaking bird species. Now, more than just its height, Suse cranes have mastered both land and sky with equal grace. They are incredibly powerful in flight mode, capable of long-distance migrations. They feast on an exotic menu including roots, tubers, insects, crustaceans, and other small vertebrates, using their impressive height to wade through deeper waters than any other crane species. They are also known to stick to one mate all their lives. No wonder the Indians see it as a symbol of marital fidelity and eternal love. They are simply amazing to watch when they perform those weird courtship dances with smooth movements and making loud trumpeting sounds that can be heard from miles away. We find them more native to the wetlands of India, Southeast Asia, and northern Australia in wetlands and other water bodies, because that's where their food comes from. As magnificent as it is, it doesn't come close to this next predator. 11. Wandering Albatross. Imagine a bird with wings spanning over 11 feet and can fly 75,000 miles per year without breaking a sweat. Or what about one that can fly 13 months straight without ever stopping? Meet the king of oceanic flight, the wandering albatross, the largest flying bird on the planet.
It's a Laysan albatross, and she's thought to have had more than 30 chicks in her lifetime.
These incredible birds, also known as the white albatross or goonie, can spend their lives soaring across the Southern Ocean, gliding for hours without flapping their wings even once, covering distances that would exhaust any other flying creature. Their bodies stretch up to 6 feet long, weighing as much as 29 pounds of pure aerodynamic giant. When it comes to their life cycle, their breeding schedule is simply extraordinary. They only nest every 2 years on remote sub-Antarctic islands, laying just one precious egg. Both parents share incubation duties for 11 weeks.
Wild bird has laid an egg at the approximate age of 74, according to US biologists.
Taking turns on what amounts to the world's longest babysitting shifts, while their partner soars thousands of miles across the open ocean for food.
These big birds spend most of their lives at sea, scouring the ocean's surface for food.
Wandering albatrosses don't reach sexual maturity until they're 11 to 15 years old. And once they do start breeding, only about 31% of chicks survive to adulthood. But those that make it can live for decades, spending most of their lives effortlessly soaring above endless waves. The most incredible fact about these birds is that they can actually sleep while gliding, having mastered the art of using the wind's direction to keep themselves effortlessly suspended in the sky.
Is the wandering albatross, the largest flying bird on the planet.
They mate for life with partners they might only see once every 2 years when returning to their nesting islands. 10. Great Bustard. Here comes one of nature's most impossible works of art, a bird that weighs up to 46 pounds and still manages to go airborne. Meet the Great Bustard, the second world's heaviest flying bird just behind the Cory Bustard.
Great bustards were once widespread across Germany, but nearly became extinct in the last century.
Scientifically known as Otis tarda, these incredible birds boast wingspans reaching nearly 9 feet across. Males can weigh as much as a medium-sized dog, yet they still manage to fly over 60 miles in a single day during migration. When breeding season arrives, males gather at display areas called leks.
These great bustards have come back to the place they grew up, the exact field to display and hopefully to mate.
Where they compete for female attention through elaborate performances that last for hours, strutting around and puffing up their chests in a rather attractive manner. These birds have heavy bodies and large wings that make takeoff really slow and laborious, so they often run for several miles before taking to flight, just like an aircraft. Spain and Portugal host about 60% of the world's great bustard population, but it will amaze you to know that these birds went completely extinct in the UK by 1832.
The great bustard is truly a magnificent sight and weigh up to 20 kilograms.
Now, reintroduction programs have successfully brought about 40 birds back to Wiltshire. What's remarkable about their parenting is that females leave the nest within hours of chicks hatching, immediately taking babies on walking tours of their territory. 9. Cory Bustard. Next to the Great Bustard is its cousin, Africa's largest flying bird and possibly the heaviest flying bird on the entire planet.
To one of Africa's most magnificent and enigmatic birds, the Cory Bustard.
Cory Bustards can weigh up to 44 pounds, making every successful takeoff look like a sight that defies the basic laws of physics and flight. Found in the dry savannas and semi-deserts of southern Africa, they have wingspans that stretch up to 9 feet of pure flying power.
Cory bustards are typically found in open grasslands, savannas, and semi-arid regions.
But flight is so exhausting that they spend most of their lives living on the ground, foraging for insects, small vertebrates, and acacia gum. Males significantly outweigh females and stage some of the most spectacular mating displays in the bird world. The male bird would inflate its neck like a balloon, emit booming calls that carry for miles across the savanna, and strut around like it owns the entire continent. These aren't typical bird songs either. They produce barks and growls that sound more like large mammals than birds. The harsh reality of Cory Bustard reproduction is that 82% of chicks die during their first year due to predation. Ground nesting works well for adults, but makes babies incredibly vulnerable to the countless predators roaming African savannas.
They are primarily terrestrial birds and spend most of their time on the ground.
Mothers create camouflaged scrapes in the grass, but survival requires constant watch. Despite these challenges, witnessing a Cory Bustard achieve flight is one of nature's most breathtaking moments, worthy to be captured on camera and played over and over again. 8. Andian Condor. Now here comes the undisputed king of the skies, the Andian Condor, officially the largest flying bird in the world by wingspan. These aerial giants can weigh 33 pounds with wings stretching at a staggering length of 11 feet across, making them living aircraft that dwarf most other flying creatures. We find them on the Andes Mountains and the Pacific coast of western South America.
The Andian Condor is close to extinction. In Colombia, it is believed there are no more than 150 of them.
These condors soar at altitudes that would leave humans gasping for oxygen. They nest on cliff faces up to 16,000 feet high. That's higher than most mountains in North America. Males display distinctive white collars and featherless redheads that make them instantly recognizable. Another staggering truth is that an Andian condor can live over 70 years. Their mating rituals involve elaborate displays where males inflate their necks and spread those massive wings in interesting performances that can last for hours. These birds hold incredible cultural significance as the national bird of 4 countries: Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, and Ecuador. They can stand 4 feet tall, towering over most other birds, and they're the only New World vulture where you can distinguish males from females just by appearance.
The condor has a hairless head. In the male, there is a fleshy crest on the crown of their head, used to attract females.
They scan vast territories for carrion with eyesight that makes human vision look practically blind by comparison. I guess it's hard to fully unravel all the surprise packages nature has in store for us to explore. 7. California Condor. This represents one of the most miraculous extinction stories in wildlife history. In 1982, only 22 California condors existed on the entire planet, closer to extinction than almost any species has ever been, and still survived to tell the tale.
The California condor is the largest land bird in the 1980s. There were only about 24 of them in the wild.
Although not as gigantic as the Andian Condor, these magnificent birds are among North America's largest, with wingspans reaching close to 10 feet and weighing up to 33 pounds. They're scavengers that help clean up carcasses, but what makes them truly extraordinary?
One of the most iconic western species we have, California condors. One of the most critically endangered birds in the entire world.
Is that incredible recovery from the brink of extinction. Today, over 500 California condors soar across western skies thanks to the most intensive conservation effort ever undertaken.
In the population, we are seeing condors and finding their own food and doing everything that they need to do.
Their breeding biology is just as fascinating. These birds maintain one mate partner for life and lay only one bluish-white egg every 2 years. Talk about putting all your reproductive hopes in one basket. The chick takes 5 to 6 months just to fledge, then stays with their parents for another 2 years learning basic survival skills. California condors can live up to 60 years in the wild, making them among the longest-lived birds on Earth.
They're one of the last ice age creatures that exist. The condor's role to play is to maintain and clean up environments.
They practice urohydrosis, a ritual of defecating on their own legs to cool down through evaporation. While it might sound gross to you, it's actually a brilliant thermoregulation for such massive birds. Watching them soar is simply a breathtaking scene. Similar to the wandering albatross, they cruise at 30 to 40 miles per hour without flapping. Every individual bird is now tagged and monitored, making each bird precious in the ongoing fight to save this species from getting wiped off the surface of the Earth.
They're also very sensitive to many things. They're sensitive to trash. As humans have expanded westward, we've continued to push the California condor out.
6. Golden Eagle. The golden eagle isn't just stunning for its wings spanning over 6.5 feet, but also for its significance across different cultures.
The golden eagle is one of Britain's rarest birds of prey, currently found only in small areas of Scotland and Northern Ireland.
These huge predators possess dark brown feathers crowned with golden bronze plumage around their necks, creating an appearance so majestic and adorable, of course. The male golden eagle is over 3 feet tall and can weigh as much as 11 pounds. That means it's just as heavy as a Labrador retriever. It's often found across the entire northern hemisphere from North America to Eurasia in mountains, hills, and open grasslands. These apex predators hunt everything from rabbits and hares, even full-grown foxes, diving at incredible speeds as much as 200 miles per hour.
She's got him, she's done it.
Like most of the giant birds discussed in this video, golden eagles typically pick one partner and stay with them for life. When it's mating time, this is when we witness breathtaking aerial displays as part of the mating ritual. And of course, as kings of the mountains, they build large nests, called eyries, on cliffs or in tall trees. The female golden eagle usually lays 1 to 3 eggs, which she incubates for about 45 days. Once the chicks are hatched, one partner goes hunting while the other babysits. Shockingly, these birds can live over 30 years in the wild, with eyesight 8 times sharper than humans.
Golden eagles are master hunters, using their keen eyesight to spot prey from as far as 2 miles away.
Their talons exert pressure of over 750 pounds per square inch, making them living weapons perfectly designed by nature itself. When a golden eagle locks onto its target, there's really no escaping.
It's called the golden eagle to its size, habitat, and hunting abilities. These birds are truly one of nature's greatest predators.
5. Emu. Emu remains the second tallest bird in existence, only second to the ostrich. These giant birds can reach 6.5 feet in height and sprint at 30 miles per hour. It would be scary to be chased by this feathered marathon runner with unlimited endurance. The brownish-gray giants are the sole survivors of their genus, Dromaeus, making them living fossils roaming the Australian outback.
Emus absolutely love it here, and this is the perfect spot to release them.
What makes their family dynamics fascinating is their complete reversal of traditional gender roles. Females lay gorgeous green-shelled eggs weighing up to 1.5 pounds each, then abandon all parenting duties to the males. But emus can adapt quickly to new environments. They're the only birds with actual calf muscles, allowing strides that can reach 10 feet in length. They can survive weeks without food and water, a perfect adaptation for Australia's harsh and unpredictable environment.
They're just a fascinating bird. Everyone said you can't keep them as pet, and Einstein is #1.
Sadly, human expansion has taken its toll. Subspecies of emus on Tasmania and Kangaroo Island went extinct after European settlement began in 1788. However, mainland emus continue thriving as crucial seed dispersers across the continent, eating plants, insects, and arthropods. Those vestigial wings might not enable them to take to the skies, but they're perfect for balance during high-speed sprints and temperature regulation in scorching Australian heat. In the wild, these remarkable runners can live 10 to 20 years, spending their lives roaming territories spanning hundreds of miles. 4. Harpy Eagle.
Gorgeous, majestic, powerful. This is the killer witch of the jungle, the Harpy Eagle.
Here's one of Earth's most powerful aerial predators, the Harpy Eagle, armed with claws measuring 4 to 5 inches long, comparable to that of a grizzly bear. They are found throughout tropical forests of Central and South America, with Brazil serving as their primary stronghold. Females can weigh 13 to 20 pounds with wingspans reaching over 7 feet. They specialize in hunting monkeys and sloths from treetops using a perch and pounce strategy that gives prey almost no warning of the impending doom. Their appearance is also strikingly different from other eagles. That light gray double crest resembles a feathered crown, combined with contrasting black and white plumage that provides perfect camouflage in dappled forest light. Harpy eagles build massive nests in the tallest available trees, laying barely 2 eggs, but raising only 1 chick. Its nature's harsh circumstances ensure only the strongest genes survive. What demonstrates their intelligence is bringing fresh greenery to nests, likely for hygiene and cooling purposes. Tragically, these magnificent birds face near extinction in parts of Central America due to rampant deforestation.
That's why we need to protect these forests and especially this type of trees too. Yeah. Because it's very important for them.
Their juveniles remain dependent on them for up to a full year after fledging, learning the complex skills required to become apex predators in one of the world's most challenging hunting environments. 3. Indian Peacock. How can we fail to mention a bird so magnificent that ancient cultures worshipped it as divine, the Indian peacock?
Kartikeya statue also has a peacock as its own vahan. There's something in the world of animal consciousness that we're yet to understand.
This extraordinary bird carries a train of feathers that stretches 5 feet behind it like nature's own royal cape. Found in India and Sri Lanka, they as much as 13 pounds and showcase one of the most breathtaking displays in the animal kingdom, where males fan their gorgeous tail feathers into a shimmering wall of beauty. These heavy birds prefer running across temple grounds and forest floors rather than sustained flight, though they'll glide gracefully from trees when needed. The male's shrieking call can often signal the coming of monsoon rains and has been used for weather prediction in South Asian cultures for centuries. They are omnivorous birds that feast on insects, seeds, small reptiles, and even venomous snakes, making them both beautiful and fearless. In Hindu culture, peacocks are sacred birds associated with the deities Kartikeya and Saraswati, representing wisdom and protection.
Each god has his or her own favorite animal, and maybe those animals are sort of linked to the traits of that god.
But beyond that, their eye-spotted feather contains microscopic structures that create those mesmerizing colors through light interference, making every tail feel like one of nature's rarest works of art. 2. Shoebill. Only looking at it will tell you how it got its name. Taking the crown as our most incredible giant bird, the shoebill stork is one bird that looks like it stepped right out of Jurassic Park, standing 5 feet tall with a beak shaped exactly like a giant wooden shoe. That massive bill is a perfectly engineered weapon for snatching fish, amphibians, and yes, even young crocodiles from murky swamp waters.
They eat on fish and reptiles, and they have also been known to stand up to crocodiles in the wild as well.
Found deep in East Africa's swamps, these solitary hunters can stand motionless for hours, their blue-gray plumage giving it the perfect camouflage among swamp vegetation, waiting for the perfect moment to strike with lightning speed.
While she goes off to fetch water, it reveals a dark side to the relationship with its nest mate.
Each shoebill claims a territory of over 1.5 square miles. That's larger than some towns in California. They build floating nests using aquatic vegetation, like nature's own houseboats, where females lay 1 to 3 eggs. The chicks fledge after 112 days, but the brutal reality is that only the strongest usually survive to adulthood. What makes encounters with shoebills an unforgettable experience is how you need to shake your head while bowing down before they can accept you. They also emit this loud machine gun-like bill-clattering sound that echoes across the swamps for miles. Combined with their famous death stare that seems to peer directly into your soul, it's no wonder these birds scare even experienced wildlife observers. With only 3,000 to 5,000 left worldwide, every shoebill sighting feels like witnessing a living piece of history. 1. Mute swan. There's only a few birds on Earth more majestic than the mute swan: white plumage, long neck, and orange beak. These feathered tanks are the 5th heaviest flying birds in the world, weighing up to 26 pounds and packing a wingspan that stretches close to 10 feet across. They live in lakes and swamps, feeding on water plants and small crustaceans with the help of their long necks, and are mostly found in Europe and Asia. It's easy to underrate them because of their outstanding beauty, but these birds are anything but mute when they're angry. Their aggressive hiss sounds like a deflating tire, and trust me, you don't want to be on the receiving end. They can also be aggressive during nesting season, driving away intruders with their powerful wing beats. Each wing stroke can deliver up to 22 pounds of force. What's even more interesting is that they are monogamous birds, meaning they stay with one mate partner for the rest of their lives, performing these synchronized swimming routines that look like a ballet performance during mating. The female builds the nest with reeds and grasses and lays as many as 7 eggs, while the male patrols the territory to scare off unwelcome intruders. It's more shocking to know that these swans can remember their nesting spots for years and always come back to it, as though they have built-in GPS.
These numbers are based on my studies of this pair over the last 2 years.
In North America, they're actually considered invasive because they would aggressively push out native species. The chicks, called cygnets, hatch all covered in gray, but they eventually grow to become just as intimidating as their parents. These 15 giant birds prove our planet hosts some absolutely incredible creatures. Which of these incredible birds shocked you the most? Drop a comment below with your favorite. Smash that like button if you're as amazed as I am. Subscribe if you found this intriguing, because we've got tons more mind-blowing wildlife content coming your way.